How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Is It a Buy, where we talk about stocks and try to determine if they are worth a buy or maybe a pass. My name is Corey. I just like to preface the video by saying I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy who can talk about stocks, so please take what I say with a grain of salt. All right, let's get into the video today. We have a few stocks to talk about. Let's go and start with AMC. So I'm very excited to make this video because I was very curious what's going on with AMC. As you know, it's kind of been downward trending. I guess more recently upward trending. And we recently had a pretty nice run. We had this pretty huge day right here. And I was curious, like, okay, well, what's going on? So I lost my train of thought. But so we can so let's take a look really quick. Something I noticed immediately that kind of caught me off guard is I see a beautiful cup and handle going on right here, right? So we got the cup right here, handle going down. And what's been going on recently is we seem to be in I don't want to give any dates, but we seem to be in a similar cycle to what happened previously with AMC, where it kind of ran down and then it kind of recovered and then it shot, and then it had a drastic drop and then it ran to the moon, right? And I think we're in a similar, well, it seems like we're in a similar situation. Now, I'm not going to give any dates. I'm just waiting patiently in case it drops again. No big deal. In my personal opinion, make sure you're always managing your own risk. This is not financial advice. So, more recently, it looks like yesterday it was up 5.16%. Currently in the pre-market, I should say, it's down 1.54%. It's currently sitting at $40.16 pre-market today, right? And so I just wanted to take a look at the T+2 system. We look at the day candles. We can see we had some good days. We had a plus 4.81, plus 4.64, and so we're looking at the plus 4.64 over here percent on the day in the Ortex data. So let's get that pulled up really quick. You can see right here. So let's take a look at utilization really quick. Utilization is actually on the rise, which is what I really like to see. I really feel strongly about the utilization kind of being high. I think already it realistically is at a high enough place where it could kind of take off based on the sentiment of the stock. However, doesn't hurt for it to be even higher so that these shorts have less ammo to short the stock with, right? So that's what's going on there. Shares on loan is something that, we're kind of watching. It's in a weird, I would consider this flat kind of overall. If you probably average this out, maybe it's a little under flat, I guess. But either way, like I feel okay with this, especially with the other numbers moving in the right direction. Even though not as many shares are on loan, this is plenty of the shares on loan for it to have a huge run. And so I'm okay with this. Let's also take a look at the short interest. Again, the short interest, I think of as more of a threshold. And I think it's way past the threshold for it to have a run. I've seen stocks have a run with even around 10%. So like, I can't recall if any of those were news catalysts or if they were actually like covering a little bit, but either way, like, AMC has plenty of news catalysts coming up for it to run, just in case that was the factor that kind of tipped the scale, I guess I could say. But so that's what's going on with AMC. I was curious about the T+2, see if there was anything super drastic. Nothing crazy drastic, with it going up. I guess I would expect a few shares to be covered, which is kind of what we're seeing. This is not like a huge drop like this where we went up, a ridiculous amount of percentage all the way to $70. And yeah, so that's what we're seeing here. I think that was everything I kind of wanted to cover with AMC. Let's hop over to Progenity, right? So we'll take a look at Progenity in Webull really quick. Where are we at? Here we go. So, fan turn on. Progenity right here, we can see it's kind of been downward trending. This is the day candle, so that's why it looks kind of crazy. But we can see the T+2 candle over here, which was down 2.02%. Currently, Progenity sitting at around, just above $3. And let's take a look at it over on Ortex really quick. We can see over here that even in Ortex, like it's still all the way up here. There was no super major covering or anything like this. I still feel like this stock is still extremely primed and ready to go. The difference between the all-time high and now, it was 36.5 million, and we're currently at 35.0 million. So like barely anything has changed. It's still a percentage of the free float, so 54.35%. Over half of the stock is currently on loan, and it's just incredible. Utilization, take a look at the utilization all the way up here, 99.92%. Extremely high. I would not be surprised at all if this thing went parabolic very soon. I'm patiently waiting. I've been waiting since January. Well, technically, I've been in AMC since December. So, anyways, I've been waiting a long time for big things to happen. I think a huge thing has already happened in AMC, but if what I believe is true, then it could be even crazier, right? And just to show you that people aren't letting off the brakes or off the gas, I guess I should say. People aren't letting off the gas for PROG. We can see over here, like, take a look at the short interest history, right? This stock, they continue to short it, and it's just not looking good for them. Actually, the failures to deliver just came out. I'm curious what this looks like. Man, these are really high. Okay, well, it looks like they are failing to deliver these stocks. I don't think the T+2 cattle. No, I'm not sure what happened with these, but I'm not going to cover that right now. That's a story for another time. But anyways, so that's what's going on with this stock. Short interest is currently at 37.39%, well past my personal threshold of what I think it needs to do to go crazy, right? BBIG, let's take a look at what's going on over here on the, what is this, Webull platform. Take a look at the chart, and we're over here looking at the T+2. It was down 5.13%. Yesterday, down 0.62%. And currently down a little bit. So BBIG, another obviously heavily shorted stock that we've been covering for a while, but I did want to see what was going on in the Ortex data. So we can see the shares on loan is at an all-time high. Okay, this thing is at an all-time high, and you can see BBIG, where it has been over the past, let's look at 3 months or something, is really just downward trending. It's basically looks like we may have a small like double bottom over here, but I'm hoping this will be the bottom. I think under $5. I've always had my prediction about a few of my stocks about a very good position to get in. BBIG under $5 is what I said about Doge under 20 cents and Carnival under $20, right? You're gonna wish that you got in under those amounts. Again, my personal opinion. If anyone has been thinking about pulling the trigger on BBIG and they haven't yet, this may be your chance to find a very, very good entry point, or average down if you've been waiting for some kind of bottom here. I really don't see this getting much lower at all, especially with this Ortex data, right? Shares on loan at an all-time high. Utilization bounced back up. It's kind of been teetering between 95 and like 99%. Currently, it's at 99.01%. And so I'm not sure if it's going to continue to teeter, but as this stock continues to go down lower and lower and lower, in my opinion, indicating that they're shorting the stock, I think the shares on loan are going to continue to increase to more all-time highs. And I also think that it just leaves the utilization is going to stay super high, and I think that it's going to make it so that it's not going to go much lower before it goes higher. Okay, so I'm pretty bullish on this stock right here, on what's going on, especially short term. Short interest at an all-time high, which, I mean, you can see exactly, like, I love looking at these charts because you can see the correlation between when they try to short it and whenever they cover a little, like whenever the stock goes up, it goes down just a little bit, and then whenever they short it more, it goes like high. It's pretty easy to see for some of these stocks, right? Ocugen. Okay, so Ocugen is the one that has been going crazy for the past few days. I can just find the chart here. Okay, so let's take a look at Ocugen. We'll look at the 1 month. Here we go. Let's look at we'll look at the 1 month. I'll just zoom in. So we can see here it's been on a beautiful little run. Let me see, it started at around $9, went all the way up to $18 at the high over here. And now over the past, yesterday was a rough day for Ocugen, was down 18.76%, which is typically what we see whenever we're looking at a retracement. Remember, it did start at around, we'll call it $9. And, so it's still up from where it was. But obviously, it has its run, and this is what we typically see with the stocks, right? It has its run, and then it comes back down, bit of a retracement, which is what we saw exactly here. And so I don't know if this is the actual bottom yet. Yesterday it was down 18.76%. This morning alone, it's down 10.68%. And so I'm curious to see what the T+2 data is going to look like. Currently, T+2 data is going to be right here. Let me put it on the day candles and see what that day look like. We're going to be right here for plus 12.09%. But keep in mind, we had a plus 5, plus 9, 13, 18, 12, a huge run here. And then we finally had our retracement, which I would completely expect to see. So let's take a look at Ocugen over here in or text. I'm going to hide the price so because we can kind of see what's going on. But either way, it's actually pretty nice. The all-time high being 79 million shares on loan. And we're currently at 75 million shares on loan, right? So again, barely covering, but you can see how these stocks have huge moves whenever they cover, right? And we can see realistically, I'm more so looking at the percentage of the free float, but even with the percentage of the free float, I mean, just to give you some perspective, it went up all like basically doubled off of, let me see what it was previously at the all-time high. 41% of the free float. Progenity is at 54% of the free float. What was my number over here for Ocugen? 40. Yeah, this one's at 40 as well. I mean, there's some seriously heavily shorted stocks going on right now. And these are just a very, very few of them. Just based on what we've seen, right? Very, very few of them that we're covering currently. But these are the ones that I feel like are going to have huge moves. Okay, so that's what's going on with Ocugen. We have the shares on loan there. Utilization 90, well, that's not utilization. Utilization 98.63%. Actually went upward more recently, which is just wild. And then we can take a look at these short interest. Again, way past my threshold. Still trending upward, even though more recently it's been a little more quote unquote flat. But I'm into it. I'm definitely into it. I'm personally do not have a position in Ocugen currently. I'm just tied up everywhere else. But man, people were calling this. I mean, we started covering this pretty early. I think back here we watched the retracement and then we watched it go off. And I'm curious if that's what we're going to see over here with these other stocks like BBIG as well as PROG. All right, PROG is one we're seeing a bit of a retracement here. I would love to bounce off this level of support, but I'd be okay if it retraced and then took off like OCGN did. That'd be very, very nice. All right, let's talk about another stock that has gotten a lot of attention recently. ATER. ATER, the CEO, let me get that actually pulled up over here. CEO says preliminary data on illegal naked short selling is about 7 million shares as of October 15th. This in addition to the 8.1 million shares officially short as reported by NASDAQ. We are committed to combating this. ATER, stop naked shorting, right? And so this is pretty huge. I'm actually honestly extremely surprised that they've already found this so quickly. It makes me think like, okay, well, what else has been going on? He's actually gotten a little bit of hate because people are saying, well, why is he focusing on this instead of like just making the company even better, blah, blah, blah. I think this is an important thing to call out personally. And, he hired another company. He's not the one actually working on this. It's a third party company. It's not taking away much from his day to day. He's still, doing the most that he can, I'm sure. So I think this is pretty important for people to talk about, right? Naked shorting is the more things that we bring to light, the more things that people can be upset about, right? Even people who aren't necessarily apes, people who have been trading for a long time, they're like, look, like this is like, and things never made sense to them. I hope that the information that these apes are finding out are helping these other retail traders to see the injustice, the manipulation that is going on. And I hope that it calls for change. I hope that there's some kind of change in these markets that just make it fair. Like it's so sad because literally the retail investors aren't asking for anything crazy. They just want a fair market. If they lose, they lose. If they win, they win. And people are okay with winning and losing, and obviously everyone's okay with winning, but losing, people are okay with losing. Like if the stock has bad news or something like this, but whenever there's this underlying factor of manipulation and unfairness in the market, whenever it's already like risky, you know what I mean? It's like, it's 50-50 technically, you know what I mean? Like it's either going to go up or it's going to go down. Obviously there's a little more involved in that, but whenever it's already so risky and then the hedge funds or institutions or whoever make it unfair because of their trading tools and how they can make money on your trades, even if you have a winning trade, they still make money off your winning trade. It's just too wild. It's just too wild. So hopefully this calls for some kind of change in what's going on. And so I'm not sure what is going on with ATER. Let's take a look at Webull really quick, right? Because whenever you see this, right, I want you to just think for yourself really quick and say, look, whenever we see the stock go down like this, what does it typically mean in Ortex, right? What do we typically see the stock doing as far as the shares on loan, short interest, blah, blah, blah. So whenever it goes down like this, in my head, I say, okay, well, we usually see that these shares on loan are going higher, right? They're going higher, they're getting larger, la da da. And that doesn't seem to be the case here, right? We can see over here in Ortex that these shares on loan have just plummeted. I mean, it went from 17 million down to 6 million. And I don't know why that is. Like, I really just don't have a good reason as of this. I haven't heard of any negative news catalysts. I may have missed it, but I haven't heard of really anything to drive this information like in this direction, right? Even the utilization has been, kind of heading, finally bounced. Looks like utilization was down to 64.46%, all the way from 99%, seemingly for no real reason. Now, I don't think there was a stock offering or anything like that, but it's just really confusing me as to what is happening here. Short interest also plummeted. It was around 68.65% at the beginning of all this, whenever everything was just getting started. And then seemingly for no reason, it just kind of tapered off. I'm not sure, and I'm not going to shill anybody here, but I don't know why this is. And it makes me wonder if, okay, so I'll say this, but just keep in mind that, I don't really understand why this is happening. It makes me wonder if shorts are exiting their position, if they've broken even or made their money and they're leaving their position and say they don't need the, you know what I mean? Like, it's just very confusing to me as to why this is happening. Other than that, but I'm invested in the stock. I'm still holding it. I'm not going to leave my position just yet, especially with all the manipulation going on. I'm curious to see what this happens, if or what comes of this. If anything does happen, if the stock goes for a run. More recently, it had a pretty good day yesterday. It was up 5.18%. Currently up in the pre-market 3.34%. And I still believe in the stock as far as going for a run. This Ortex data obviously throws me off a lot, but I still think I'm still gonna hold my personal position, is what I'll say there. But yeah, so that's what I have for you guys. I know this video went on so dang long, but trying to cover all these stocks, give my personal thoughts, and cover some of the news that's going on. So bear with me here. Thank you so much for that. But I'll call it there. You guys have a fantastic day. Catch you later. Peace.